Our dear kind Heavenly Father, we do acknowledge you as the one in whom we live, move, and have our being. We thank you for another opportunity to serve. We thank you for the community members who saw fit to come to see local government in action. As we begin our meeting, we invite your presence and ask that you abide with us as we make decisions that you have appointed us to do. We ask your blessings upon all of our men and women who are serving in uniform. We see some that are present here today. We ask that you continue to bless them and all members in our community and our nation that are serving. As we go through every item on our agenda, we ask your divine help to help us make wise decisions. These and all blessings we thank and ask in the precious name of our Savior. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
May I have a motion to approve our agenda for tonight?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve our agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda is approved. May I have a motion to approve our minutes from our meeting held on January 13th?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we approve our minutes from January 13th. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. The minutes are approved. Land use matters. RZ 2522.
Mr. Chairman, County Council, good evening. This is RZ 2522 for property at 250 Progress Street. The applicant is Andy Mills, who's an authorized agent for the property owner, and this is a request to rezone a 0.19 acre portion of a larger 3.2 acre parcel from light industrial warehouse to general residential. So the area, the rezoning area is circled on the location map, but the entire property is in red. This is on the east side of Progress Street. This is a closer up aerial imagery showing the area proposed for rezoning. It is yellow. It is the northwesternmost portion or corner of the property. Current zoning is light industrial warehouse. It's noted that it is adjacent to a large a property that is zoned general residential. The applicant also owns that property, and the reason for this rezoning is to put an access into that piece to tie to Progress Street for purposes of accessing an expansion or a new mobile home park or an expanded mobile home park from Iris Winds. And this is the conceptual plan that was submitted by the applicant for the mobile home park. The subject property is in the economic development planning area where residential uses are not in direct alignment with it, but this is the rezoning here is to serve as a access point for development on the larger tract to the east, which is primarily in the suburban planning area, which is more favorable for this type of development being proposed. The Planning Commission discussed this request and did recommend approval for the rezoning, and happy to answer any questions you have of staff. And the applicant is here as well.
Any questions?
Yeah, I had a call today about the exit and entrance off Progress Road. I'm trying to figure that I guess it's the adjoining property. They were concerned about how it could affect their property and value, I guess. Is what they got commercial and they're wondering. We're asking that question to me, and I called earlier for y'all to try to get an answer out, but I was just kind of curious. Where is the entrance to this park going to be?
Well, there would be from my understanding and what I'm seeing here on the conceptual plan, and I could let the applicant speak more to that because they developed the plan, but there will be a tie-in to Iris Winds and then a connection through that little small piece of the property to Progress Street.
Does it have to be through that little small, have they got other options too?
I believe those are the only two tracks that the applicant owns, to my knowledge.
All right, well, I'm sure we'll hear from you.
I mean, it does abut some other portions of right-of-way that are undeveloped
Yeah.
to the south. But there's no street there, it's undeveloped right-of-way.
The Progress Street, the little, look like a little button with a circle, what is that structure?
That is a tank associated with Santee Print Works.
What does it contain in it?
From my understanding, and from what I was told by Santee Print Works, is that I think it contained fuel.
Hypothetical, what's the blowout radius of it?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Yes, they close.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Prior to council taking action on second reading, we will have a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this rezoning request? Public hearing is now open. Please proceed to the podium and state your name for the record.
Would you please pass this to the council, please? Thank you.
My name is Debbie Sisson, and my husband owns commercial property directly across from that, and he has frontage on Liberty Street, Thunderbolt, and Progress, and it's labeled Sisson if you look at it, and next to that is Brown. I'm not sure if she's here in opposition. I doubt it, because she sold a piece to this. Actually, she sold that piece. And we're not here to deny them right of a mobile home park, because what they've done is nice, the Iris Winds. But the gentleman said they don't have another access, they don't have any other property. But if you look at these two pieces right here, they purchased those properties from the same people they purchased this 67 acres. And that one particular where it says driveway, the other piece right there is frontage on Myrtle Beach Highway. And that driveway goes all the way to that little bend right there. So we feel that they could put the drive there and keep the buffer to our commercial land. My husband purchased that in 1986, and he has worked it and developed it to make it worth more. And we feel if we don't have a buffer and we have residential, because we feel that after they get this drive, they're going to ask for that other little piece to go as residential also. So we're not asking that you deny them their right to use their property. We're asking you the right to protect us also. And we don't feel it unreasonable that they put the drive where there's already a drive. But that gentleman said they don't. They own both of these pieces of property right there also. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Sisson.
Yes, my name is Curtis Gautier. I'm here representing Andy Mills with Collars Engineering Design, and if there's any questions, I'll be glad to take any as fact of the design of this. So,
Well, could you address Ms. Sisson's concern?
as far as what we're going, that land use was just recently purchased and is not planned to be used for what we're only dealing with what we currently have. And I would like to also state that we previously went to try to get the entire 3.2 acre tract rezoned to GR. But since we had issues, we've now shrunk it down to just the portion just to get access to Progress Street. So I'd like that to be known. I think that was last September, October we went through. So that's all I have on that behalf. Is there any other questions?
Ms. Washington?
Have you had a conversation with the couple that just raised the issue?
I have not, and I would love to see one of those papers. Got one?
And of course, you know, they purchased it, they closed December 22nd. And I have my real estate license, and I know, y'all presented that, y'all knew they were already happy.
Can we go back to the next slide, or previous slide that showed the actual development?
It's there. Okay, we got it.
We got it.
Which slide were you looking?
We got
We
it.
got it.
So just now looking at this, this is the first to my attention. If that property was bought so recently, that's why it's not taken into account now, because it's something that they don't know if they'll ever use for any purposes. And if you can look at this layout, we're not showing any connection per this layout, just to where the existing neighborhood towards the northeast.
What are the other two I see on the?
So that's on just on this side. The other two would be, you can see obviously to the northwest, that small portion where we want to connect to Progress Street. And then that southern portion where you can see a right-of-way extending to the southwest is currently an undeveloped right-of-way. We're going to put a road there. Somebody in the future may continue that right-of-way there, but as of now, it's an undeveloped right-of-way.
How about the other one on the right bottom?
To the right, all the way to the northeast,
Yeah.
that's an existing neighborhood that we would connect to. They stubbed a road out for a future connection of another neighborhood.
You have three ingress egress.
That's correct, with one being two, well, there would also be a fourth, but that's to an undeveloped right-of-way.
So with that, are you able to accommodate her need?
Yes. With what you see here, connecting at the red area, connecting to the existing Iris Winds Park, connecting to the northeast to the existing neighborhood, and then the southwest connection is to an unknown right-of-way that we may never know if someone uses that connection.
I mean, you're able, but are you willing to accommodate her needs, her request?
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at rezoning of this small portion. This is just conceptual, and we're not showing a connection to that driveway where she has highlighted here.
Oh, okay.
That's from the tax map.
That's great, and I think that was just currently
And
correct.
that's something, you said they don't plan, they just purchased that for $400,000. And it's only, what is it, 20-something acres? I believe they planned on using it for something. I don't think they would waste, not investors, they wouldn't waste $400,000 on that if they weren't planning to incorporate that. That's our feelings.
That would be up to the landowner's discussion and what zoning is currently allowed to be used for there. I can't speak on behalf of that neighboring property. I'm just in here representative to this property that we're trying to get rezoned.
So right now, you have two entranceways, ingress and egress out of this, without this little red portion.
That is correct.
So you already have one way in, one way out. And
That's
you're asking
correct.
for a third.
That's correct. Which is what I believe we were recommended to by planning, I think,
Yeah.
on behalf of connecting to the three access.
For fire purposes.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I got one quick question. Would you,
Yes, sir.
would you be willing to talk with her
Of course. Yeah,
about her thoughts of why it would work or wouldn't work?
exactly.
And, because I
Yeah,
think
that's a long way.
the park you got has been great. I ride by it. I'm amazed at what y'all done with that project.
Appreciate that.
And I hope this is gonna be similar.
That's exactly what we're trying to do.
So I would hate to turn the park down, but I would like to address their needs also.
Right, exactly.
Jim, if I could just suggest, on both sides of the driveway going out on the Progress, maybe a little heavier buffer. If the concern was the visibility, a little heavier buffer on each side of the driveway,
Of that entrance coming in off Progress,
1 acre.
that would be, recommended at the planning phase and design phase.
And might I add, I rode down today, we were out of town quite a bit, and I did get back and get the letter. And there may have been someone else here in opposition, I'm not sure, but I videoed, and anybody would like to see my video can see it. There's not a sign on that road, and I rode, and we had the video going, and there was no sign saying this is happening. We did get our letter when we got back in town, thankfully.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any more questions?
Anyone else?
I would like to ask the young lady, you have Santee print identified on your drawing. Was there a significance?
I just put it to the commercial properties that were right there.
I see.
It was actually butting up to it or across from it. And I made the significant, Sandy Print probably would not have a person here because, you know, they're shutting down. Miss Brown, Lori Brown, I don't think she would oppose it because she sold this piece to his developers. And so we are actually the only ones directly across from it. And my husband purchased it in 1986. He purchased it for $325,000. He has worked that. It's not like an outsider coming in. He has worked this to develop it, to make it more. We have tenants there, which are industrial, you know, with big trucks. I guess you'd call it industrial. And we feel this driveway here from a residential, we're gonna have more complaints from this residence when that driveway is there, when we have big trucks, just like the place that Thompson Turner sold to. It is right there across the street. It is actually on the other side of Thunderbolt and Progress. They will also have the same thing. We feel we would have problems with complaints from them for our tenants that we're looking out for.
Yeah, he has informed us that everything is not finished with development yet, and that he is willing
Yes,
to
ma'am.
work with you to make sure that
Yeah.
nothing is invasive. Hopefully, it's not
Yeah,
invasive.
we just don't feel it's unreasonable to ask them to put it on this side where they actually have that is residential. And there is a drive most of the way in there.
And he did tell us that his
Yeah.
purpose for having the additional ingress and egress is for fire purposes.
Right.
And so it seems like you still will have a good neighbor,
Yeah.
hopefully.
We just want that buffer commercial to residential.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Megan Ryder. I am an employee of UMH Properties. I actually work at Iris Winds. So I did speak to our actual engineer with UMH shortly before I came in here. We don't ever plan to take that whole big parcel and do anything with it. It's just that little portion for the driveway. That's all we want to do. We're never going to touch that other part. We don't want to ever rezone that. And the property that we recently purchased, if and when we do something, it's going to be 4 or 5+ years down the road, is what he told me on the phone. We just have the opportunity to go ahead and purchase it now, so that's why we purchased it. But there's nothing going to be done with that property for quite some time. So, I mean, I definitely understand Ms. Sisson's concerns, and if we need to put a buffer, I'm sure that's something that we're willing to do. We're not opposed to doing anything. Like you guys said, we've done a lot out there. We've made it really nice. We're not here to cause any problems or upset anybody. We just are trying to, you know, help with affordable housing. That's our biggest goal, is affordable housing for everyone. So I'm more than willing to speak with her as well, if she'd like, but that's just kind of what we're doing. It's not to step on anybody's toes at all, I promise.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Public hearing is closed.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve with the condition that y'all will get some decisions and make sure that they're comfortable with what's going on with it out there, whatever it requires.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve second reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, second reading is approved.
Mr. Chairman, would you explain to the couple that it requires 3 readings, so they'll be back before council again before any final decision is made?
Yeah. Okay. There will be a third reading, so.
So hopefully y'all can talk between now and the next 2 weeks.
Okay, ordinance amendment number 2507.
Mr. Chairman, Council, this is third reading for OA 2507 for boat, RV, and non-commercial trailer storage. There's been no changes since second reading.
Move for third reading,
It's been moved and properly seconded that we have third reading on OA 2507. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. The next item on the agenda said other public hearings, none. If there's anyone here that was read where there was going to be a public hearing for Project Peanut, I'd just like to say that Project Peanut was deferred at the request of the companies that were involved. So it didn't have anything to do with council, it was the request of the companies. Come now to reports from fiscal tax and audit. Mr. Frank Davis.
Well, Mr. Chairman, members of council, thank you again for having me tonight to briefly go over the results of our audit of the county for its fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. As I discussed in our more detailed meeting immediately preceding this one, we've issued ultimately an unmodified opinion on the county's financial statements, which is a clean opinion. In addition to that, we did not note any instances of noncompliance with laws, regulations, grant agreements, things of that nature, or any internal control deficiencies to report to you all. And we've also issued a clean or unmodified opinion on the county's compliance with federal guidelines in terms of the spending under the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds Program and the Home HUD program. But otherwise, I'd be happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Any questions from council? Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Sheriff Dennis.
Mr. Chair, if I may, just for the audience's knowledge, I know that seemed rather quick. We had a meeting earlier where council heard it's required that counties have an external audit organization come in and audit our financials annually. So we go through this process. This will be the that we use this company. But anyway, it's very thorough. They go through a lot of information, a lot of financial information with our council. But the big takeaway was that is we have a clean audit. So everything was provided for, all the information they asked for was provided, and it looked proper. So that's basically the takeaway without getting into all of the numbers. As you can imagine, there's quite a bit. But anyway, just wanted the audience to know that this is our annual audit by an external auditing organization.
Chief Gardner. We can skip over to the next report to give Sheriff Dennis a chance to come back, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, Joe?
Mr. Chairman, members of council, good evening. Thank you for this time. Happy to present to you the Progress 2025 report. Oh, here we go. Give me one moment. There it is. This is the annual compendium, if you will. Wanted to give you all a chance to look at it first. Once this meeting concludes, can we switch?
Please.
No, can we switch so it shows what's on the,
It was there.
was briefly, wasn't it? Y'all just want to go have some sandwiches?
We can go back to the sheriff if we need to.
There's the sheriff.
Do you want to just tell me when to click through it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Sheriff Anthony Dennis.
There it is, it just showed up, Joe.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, Council, I want to thank you for allowing us to come tonight. Brought staff with me, my command staff as well, our executive staff. Wanted to do our annual crime report for Sumter County. We've had a lot of interest and a lot of phone calls about this. But tonight I want to introduce our personnel with me. I have Captain Hawkins, Administrative Captain, Captain Wiley, Civil Process. I have Deputy Major Lumpkin, Detention Center Major. Ray, our Director, Detention Center, Captain Moore, our Patrol Division, Major Lindsay, our Administrative Major, and Captain Yelp, our Captain Investigation, along with Chief Deputy Hampton Gardner, came with me tonight. Normally, we provide this information in our meeting, public safety meeting. I wanted to actually present it to the public as well tonight. I wanted to let you know that the Sumter County Sheriff Office has provided law enforcement through contractual agreements to the town of Maysville, the town of Pinewood, and also to 18 public schools in the school district. We provide law enforcement services to all of those different entities. The Sumter County Sheriff Office responded to 66,175 calls for service last year. I wanted to give you some numbers on that, those calls. You do have the crime report. You should have it in your folders. Why don't you take a look at that? Our crime report is pretty much average with last year. We did have an increase in homicides with the murder and manslaughter. I would ask you to murder and homicides that two of those were the individuals that we found in the rural area of northern part of Sumter County that actually wasn't from Sumter but occurred in Sumter. We also had one with the inducing the fentanyl, the new law that the legislature passed, that we were able to charge an individual with that. Two more with pretty much domestic homicides as well that could or couldn't have been prevented by our sheriff office as well with that homicide. I would proud to say that we've had 100% clearance rates on our homicides. We have made arrests in all of our homicides, include 2 arrests made in cold cases over the years. I think one was 2023 and one was prior to that. We've also had 100% clearance on our runaways and missing persons. And I certainly agree that success to our increase in number of arrests located on our runaways and missing persons. I credit that to the outstanding work of our personnel, our deputies, and our new technology, as well as educating the public on runaways and missing persons. The time to report them and giving us ample time to use our resources. We have seized, and you should have a picture of the guns and weapons that we've seized over the years. We've seized over 200 guns last year in Sumter County. And now we have a little over in our evidence, over 2,000 in evidence of weapons that we've seized. These are some of the pictures that you should have in your folder.
Sheriff, were some of these stolen guns?
Some of them are stolen guns from residents, and we do return them once we identify the owner. And we do, and some of them guns that never identified or recovered or have never been reported stolen.
What happens to these weapons?
Some of them are destroyed, and sometimes some of them they're actually traded in to gun suppliers, gun dealers, that licensed gun dealers. Recently, we had an increase of gun violence amongst our youth in certain areas of the county, and certainly Captain Moore and others we got together and implemented an aggressive unit within our sheriff office to concentrate on those high crime areas. And I do have a report on the results of that unit, and we had, I think, 0 shootings that for that month. We made several arrests and we recovered several guns and made several charges with that aggressive unit that we have. But we found out I could come here and ask for additional personnel, but we also found out that asking for additional overtime for personnel that we already have and trained would be satisfactory enough to bring on additional personnel. That may be a request in the near future for additional overtime for that. When we have issues like we had recently, I think in November, December, we had multiple gun violence with drive-by shootings. And we were able to shut that down, neutralize it, or eliminate it with the implementation of the aggressive crime unit that we had.
Sheriff Dennis, are those gang-related, some of them?
We felt that, yeah, some are gang-related. We are working with some federal agencies, and some that have a gang problem. Will not deny that we have a gang problem. Are we working with the gang problem? We are working with our sister agency, the city of Sumter. We're working with the federal agencies and South Carolina Law Enforcement Division as well.
Yes, sir.
And we've made a lot of, I would say we've made a lot of aggressive, we made a lot of arrests, and we've made a lot of positive movement with that unit that we've had.
Thank you.
Sheriff, I mean, every county has a gang problem.
We do.
I mean, it's just not us. Is that true?
Yes, I would say so. And South Carolina is no exception, and Sumter County is no exception to the gang problems that we have. We try to identify them, and we deal with it. And now we've been dealing with it through aggressive law enforcement. As you see, we've also implemented our youth program as well. We're reaching out to the community with community meetings. Also, we having our summer youth program again since the COVID years, and hopefully that will have a positive effect on some of the gang violence that we're having. I wanted to give you, we had an increase in youth arrests with our youth, almost I think about 20-30% increase with our youth. The cost of youth to be detained in Columbia is $125 per day. It's $125 per day. I know some of my investigators have told we have youth that have been incarcerated for homicides. We have youth being incarcerated for aggravated assault. And sometimes it's months and has been years before we can remove those youth from the Department of Juvenile Justice. And that costs the citizens of Sumter County $125 per day, including weekends and holidays. So that's one thing we may want to look at the future. Our crime report, as you look at it, we've had a decrease in vehicle break-ins. We've had a decrease in larcenies. We had a decrease in thefts. And I do credit that to the aggressive unit that we've had out and our patrol units that are patrolling the streets of Sumter County. I want to give an update on our detention center as well. We do have a maximum security, a maximum capacity of our detention center of 550. We do house now 492 inmates at our detention center. We have 92 also on what we call house arrest, which would be a accumulation of 580 inmates that we would have, that we are now that we have in custody at our detention center. We have our maximum security at our detention center. I guess our director will tell you that it's maxed out. We've had moved our inmates from the maximum security because it's maxed to a mid-max, a medium security, so we can house them in our facility. You know, we also house for Lee County and Bishopville as well.
So much room left?
Not much room left at all. There's probably a vision or probably a recommendation that there be a consideration for another pod built, as well as possibly juvenile detention center built as well. I think it certainly would minimize the cost of the citizens of Sumter County if we did that.
May I ask a question? Okay, so you're saying it costs like $125 per day
Per day.
for a juvenile, and what process do you use to compensate Columbia for that?
We have to pay them, they billing every month, I think we get a monthly bill from the Department of Juvenile Justice.
How many do we currently have over there?
I think Captain Hawkins would tell me, I don't know how many we have in custody, detained at the detention center. But we've had as much as, what, 5 or 6 at a time, sometimes.
And you said you do have some who are over there for homicide?
Homicide, I can recall, we had a juvenile, it was over there 3 years.
So what is the process? If they're incarcerated for 3 years, that's considered detention? And so what is next for them to be, that's pretty long for someone to be in a detention center, and that's always been one of my issues. That's why we don't like calling our facility a detention center too long. If they are there for a long time, then it's almost like a prison. And so we would like for that term to be shorter, so that it can indeed satisfy the definition of detention. So if with those juveniles who are there that length of time, what is next for them?
Sure. So the courts really drive that phenomenon. That's not
Oh, it's not
an
something
issue that the sheriff can address.
Yeah.
The courts.
Okay.
And they can be detained until they become the age of an adult. If
Okay.
they're 15, when they become 17 or 18, then it can be transferred back to the
Wow.
facility here.
My
You
goodness.
brought up a juvenile detention at our jail.
Now County.
Can you do that?
Yes, we can. I mean, it's
They
certain,
had to go to Columbia, they don't have to.
no, you wouldn't have not to go. You wouldn't be able to go there.
So you're thinking it would be more cost effective for us to have our own facility than it is for you to send them to Columbia?
Yes, I have, I think our director is gonna be, come up with a cost-effective plan that we're gonna present to council that would, not only assist us, but we house others from other surrounding counties. We think it would be cost-effective to have our own
Oh,
juvenile
surrounded,
detention center here
okay.
in Sumter. Some areas do have theirs, I think Charleston, Greenville, and other areas have
Okay.
theirs as well.
Yeah, so you're thinking regional. That's smart.
You know, I will tell you this, and certainly not, and I do grant our Attorney General, assisting our solicitor's office, we just tried the case. I think the individual was in jail 4 years. And you're talking about maybe $25,000, $30,000 it's costing the county. And we see a conviction on, but that's how long we've having inmates in our detention center, up to 3 to 5 years. But they're being tried. And it's costing the taxpayers as well, housing someone that long.
Yeah, and I do have one more question, Mr. Chairman, and this may not even have anything to do with you all, but when you drive through certain communities, and sometimes you see these tennis shoes hung on power lines, do y'all try to, try to control that some? To me, that would be a bold move for those, and they're probably the kids doing that, but, it sends a really bad message, especially for the people that live there, for their community to be marked in such a sense, to have those tennis shoes thrown over their power line.
When we do see those, we try to get work with the power company to have them removed. And we do see what we consider to be gang graffiti. We also try to have those removed. from
Okay,
the
well, I
building.
have one I want to report.
We certainly will take care of that. I promise you we will.
Thank you.
But we will attempt to remove those from those areas that we feel that there may be gang violence.
Yes, thank you.
I think we've, especially with our new unit that we've, implementation of our new unit with our aggressive unit, we've seen a difference. I also say probably the citizens of Sumter and the public has seen a difference with the drive-by shootings and other gun violence shootings. Something doesn't take away the guns that we are seizing as well as the drug here in Sumter County. So we will continue to enforcement in the matter that we do.
If you look at, that juvenile, it has to be away from the jail, right?
It has to be sight and sound of an adult.
So it has to be what?
Sight and sound of an adult. It can be done as possible. I know some other, I was talking with some other sheriffs, possibly the same ideas of, because the cost is really effective. And we do, at our detention center now, we do have the medical staff, the counseling that could do both the youth detention center as well as adult center.
Couldn't you just put another pod out there and call it a youth or a juvenile?
As long as we separate it by sight and sound from it.
Okay.
I'm sure it could be done. Yes. But that's what I wanted to do. This will certainly become public. Slade will be reporting our crime rate, and you'll find out something is not as high as some people think it is. And certainly commend our officers and our staff on the tremendous job that they've done, especially with their 100% arrest and that they've done, and 100% on the locating the runaways and the missing persons that we've received calls on. I commend them on that, and I commend they will take some of the technology with our statewide cameras and our flock cameras has been had a tremendous effect on our investigations as well.
Sure. I just want to commend your jail staff from 3 or 4 years ago to recently. The time in and out, the silent port is tremendously much better.
Recommend a call.
And I want to tell them that publicly because a lot of people know the issues that we've had in the past, and there's some issues I'll discuss with you, but I want to let them know recently I've been there several times in the last couple months, and it's been a very easy process. I want to let them know that.
You're visiting?
Yes.
And keep him next time.
Yeah.
And, I'm here publicly to commend our staff and our officers on the great job they've done in 25
Mr. Chairman.
on the services that they provide to the citizens of Sumter County.
Mr. Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just got to tell this council and the public that I continue to be amazed with our sheriff's department and our center out on 15. And when I think about the stats that we received, numbers are down for break-ins, larceny, thefts. They responded to 66,000 calls last year. 100% clearance rate on homicides, 100% clearance rate on runaways and missing persons. Seized over 200 guns last year, in total over 200,000. And then the special unit in high crime areas. We have an excellent sheriff's department. And I'll just go on record now and tell you that, I'll be supporting whatever they need to make sure that this department continues to perform at an exceptional rate in protecting the citizens of Sumter County. Thank you, Sheriff Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Yes.
In your credit card and wire fraud, are you seeing that more with our seniors than, or it's just this doesn't matter?
We've seen it more with our seniors as well. I mean, we have put out several notices on scams that's being called. Matter of fact, they have used my name, I know the chief name, and several members of our staff asking for the credit card numbers and debit card numbers. But we're trying to let the public know, make them aware of what's going on. with that. But yeah, we are seeing a lot more. Seniors are being victims of that as well. More seniors than, I mean, very few young folks that will give me their credit card.
Yes. I have, just a short one. I saw your sigh, but this is very short. I just want to thank the sheriff. He has an open door policy. There's never been a time when I tried to reach out to you for something and you have not responded, and the chief too. And that is so important. And I know just how busy you all are, but you're always, one of you always responds when it's something. And I try not to, bother you unless I have to, but whenever I do, you always respond. And I want the public to know just what we have, serving us here, you men and women in uniform, making life better for us and safer for us. And the other thing I want to ask, just out of curiosity, looking at those pictures of those guns, now some of them look like something Rambo would have used. I mean, how in the world people get stuff like that?
They purchase them, and a lot of times they're stolen from residents or from other areas and brought to Sumter.
My God.
And I would be remiss if I did not commend our school resources on the job that they've done in our public schools as well. If you would see across the state, I think some of the schools are some of the safest schools. And we have less issues with our schools when it comes down to crime. And I certainly credit that to our school resource officers and the job that they do. So I want to commend them. They're not here present tonight. They're probably with the schools, but certainly commend them on the job they do as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you. There's a lot. Well, it's just, yes, that's right, exactly. They're the ones that need to be. Yes. I like this, That's a lot.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, I won't take too much of your time. Progress 2025 report. Wanted to give you all the chance to see it first. When this meeting concludes, it'll be live on our website. This is a 60-page report. It's in PDF format. It is a compendium, really just kind of help explain county government. One moment. There's our mission statement. Yeah. So this is our annual report. This was done in the past. This is a published report. Discussions with Mr. Mixon a few years ago. He brought it back in digital format. It really starts off, of course, this, as you just heard the audit, this is a fiscal year, July 1, 2024 to June 30th of 2025. Contact information for various departments, council district, an explanation of our county government, contact information, and photos of you all. Simple explanation of when council meets, how people talk to the clerk and such. So I jump right into the budget. These are numbers from, as I said, the last fiscal year. Do not reflect what was in the audit. Obviously, those are the newest numbers. It's a simple explanation of our budget, how that works, different revenue streams, what we spend our money on, et cetera. And then I go into some of the highlights of the last fiscal year. New General Sumter exhibit opened up at the museum. Sumter County Gallery of Art won the Governor's Award, as most of you are aware. We had our first annual Vietnam Vets Appreciation Day. Good turnout for that. Voters in November 2024, approved the third capital projects sales tax referendum. This is a breakdown of all the project areas, the amounts. And I would add also that, because people asked about this during the campaign, I built a page for each project on our website, and I'm updating it, something I discussed with Councilwoman Gardner Green, to make sure people know the progress of these various projects. These two ladies have been instrumental in helping grow the pickleball. There's a avid group of indoor pickleballers over there at the rec department. And then this is simply looking back at the last year. There's Miss Dennis's smiling face. Rafting Creek Elementary, our lunch buddies. We're in our third year of that. Councilman Washington, I know, has been out there for that.
Is that him in that bunny suit?
Yes.
I won't tell. I won't tell. And I'll give you all, once this is on our website, but this is, it's just kind of the highlights of this last fiscal year, whether it was litter. There's a road in Maysville that was paved as part of the second penny. This is the beginning of when Patriot Hall, the renovation began. Different exhibits at our art gallery. So using ARPA funds to pave the convenience centers. When we won the honorific title, we were bestowed the honorific title along with the city of Sumter, World War II Heritage City. A big honor for us was the National Park Service, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, some concerts, upgrades at Patriot Park, put in some AstroTurf, Miss Blanding's retirement, Miss Williams out in Rembert talking about the penny, steel topping ceremony for EVOC, breast cancer and domestic violence awareness. Again, art gallery. Here's our Veterans Day. And these are just highlights of different things that have gone on, noteworthy. And by the way, the Gamecock County Gazette, for those of you who have asked about communication, this is also on our website. That comes out every month. And it's a collection of not just what's been on social media, but what the council meetings, various things going on at Recreation Department. I get a lot of notices from Miss Jefferson at election and voter registration. There's some folks out at Rafting Creek. That was American Education Week. That was AstroTurf being completed. There's Mr. Washington at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. There's Sterling when she became the clerk. There's Mr. Bryan for the Wreaths Across America. Christmas at the museum, etc. Rafting Creek. There's Councilman Eden serving up some food there at the Civic Center. Here's our swearing-in ceremonies.
You said Councilman Edens?
Councilman Edens, yes, sir, right there.
Good job, Councilman.
And swearing-in ceremonies that we had. Art gallery. The snowstorm. CSX doing work on our various intersections there with the railroad. The chamber retreat. There's a local government day. The chamber and city and county government were involved with that. The gentleman that gave a lecture at the library. It was sponsored by the Council on Humanities. Stash the trash. As you are all well aware of our continued fight against litter. Pickleballers, we had our first pickleball tournament. Good turnout for that. Festival on the Avenue. Some penny radios started to roll out. And groundbreaking ceremony for affordable housing. Sumter County CDC. There's Councilwoman Gardner Green with the Vitiligo Awareness Month. There's some employees picking up some litter on our roadsides. Double Dutch. There is, now all the pictures in here that I've taken, except this one right here. Matthew took this one, I appreciate that one. This is Miss Mary McBride, a World War II veteran. That was our Women's Veterans Appreciation Luncheon. Penny Fire Trucks. And then it concludes with a history of Sumter County that I wrote a few years ago. Our website had a really brief history, and I spent quite some time working on this. Everything is cited and sourced. I made sure to read a good bit of the history of Sumter County and King Gregory, if y'all are familiar with that, and then Cassie Nichols is the other one. And I asked Dr. Sammy Way to read through it just to make sure it was okay. He wanted me to add 4 or 5 pages. I said maybe next time. I didn't want the report to be too long. But again, this will be live on our website when this meeting concludes. Happy to answer any questions.
Good job.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, not a question, but some people may not know, but Sumter was almost the capital of South Carolina. I think it failed by 1 or 2
vote.
votes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, council might wanna, donate, we had a pickleball racket that might still be in the corner over
Wow.
there. Donate it to the pickleball
Wow. Wow.
association. if we
Wow.
make that.
I'd be happy to show up with my camera.
And it
Wow.
costs sign a person.
Wow. Wow.
Thank
I don't
you.
know if it's, no, I don't see it, maybe.
Mr. Chair, could you call for order? Could you call for order?
Order, order.
I'm sorry.
Okay, come now to our committee reports. The Fiscal Tax and Property Committee had 2 contractual matters that were discussed in executive session. The first, we had a motion and a second to come out. When we came out, we have a motion and a second to present to council for approval to approve 8 positions for our EMS department. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The second issue, Fiscal Tax and Property Committee voted to recommend that the full council approve Union Camp Paper Holdings LLC and Silvamo North American LLC as sponsor affiliates under the fee in lieu of tax agreement that Sumter County has with Silvamo Corporation that was effective January 1st, 2025. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So those issues are passed. We did have a special call meeting where we had a report on our audit, which the Frank Davis from Walden and Jenkins reported on publicly. Do we have any reports from council members on other meetings, trainings, or conferences? Please bring to your attention the monthly reports. We got the Rules Summit that is in March 12th and 13th. And we got Counties Connect Legislative Action Day from the South Carolina Association of Counties over in the Capitol on February the 18th. County Administrative Report, Mr. Mixon.
Mr. Chair, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Joe personally for the work that he did on the progress report. Very few counties that I'm aware of go through that effort to demonstrate in a document the successes that have been accomplished in the previous year. He mentioned the County Gazette, which basically is that information except more on a monthly basis, and he compiles the highlights of the year. So again, if you want to keep up with what your county government's doing, those are certainly 2 great resources, and thank you, Joe. We all know Joe's background and history, and that fits well with the work that he's done for Sumter County, so thank you. We also, yes, I think that's We also have a very special guest in the audience this evening, and if it's okay, Mr. Chair, I would like for my assistant, Ms. Lorraine Dennis, to come up and say a few words, and who we have with us tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And I know that she's not expecting this, but I simply want to introduce to all of you this evening our new director of the Sumter County Gallery of Arts. And that is Dr. LaRochella Murphy.
Okay. Chair people, it's a pleasure. I would love to meet each of you individually. It's a pleasure to be serving Sumter County and to see what other arts and in community engagement that we can do and partner together with other organizations in the community.
Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Come now to the public comment portion of our agenda. Anyone wishing to speak to council, you have up to 3 minutes to speak. All right, I can now declare the public comment portion open. Anyone wishing to speak to council, please proceed to the podium. State your name for the record, please.
Good evening, County Council members. I'm Jackie Hughes, and I live in Sumter County. I didn't intend to speak, but I would like to make a couple comments about Sheriff Dennis. I looked at my computer. It has a calculator, and for one person to be in Columbia at 365 days times $125 is $45,000 and $45,625. Now, he said 3 years, so that's $136,875, and that's just for one person. So it sounds to me like it would be beneficial for us to have our own. And I'm not here to advocate for juvenile criminals, but I do believe that it would be good to keep them in Sumter because of their parents and relatives, instead of having to go all the way to Columbia. So that's another good reason, and to bring them up for court or whatever needs to be done. And the only other comment I have is that I personally feel safe in Sumter County. Well, Sumter area, city too, but Sumter County. And a lot of my friends, I hear them talking about not wanting to go out at night and stuff like that, but I don't have any of those problems. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes.
Good evening, council members. My name is Matthew White. Y'all know me already. So this year, y'all know I try to keep busy in the community. So this year, I'm trying to push a challenge out to the community called Love on Our Local Educators. And I'm actually going to feed the teachers at Rafton Creek on February 13th, which is going to be our first teacher work day. Councilman Washington, along with some of his companions, has helped me got in contact with them. So I'll be feeding about 35 teachers out there. All the donations are coming from organizations in the community, such as St. Paul Lodge 8, Post 202, Councilman Washington himself, and then me and Desiree, Phase 3 and the solution. The challenge is not just let us not let it end at Rafton Creek, but let's do this every teacher work day. Just pick a school, and I encourage y'all to go out and actually love on our educators to show that they're appreciated. If the school is in your area, I would love for y'all to actually go out there and join these organizations to show our teachers that we appreciate them. That's all I really got for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Anyone else? Seeing none, public comment is closed.
Comment on Mr. White, I just really like his spirit and work in the community.
Enthusiasm.
All of us have had interactions with him, and he's a veteran, and I just want to compliment him on his care, concern, and engagement in the community. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, Chairman.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Yeah. Absolutely.